All right, the power chord. You saw me play it a lot here, and we're going to play it a lot at the show, at Open House. Power chord basically consists of playing two notes that have a very certain relationship between them, and as a result, they have also very oomphy, a little very strong, energetic punch to them, and that's why they're called power chords. Tricks to getting power chords: getting your pointer finger on, let's say, if we're working off the sixth string, let's say it's on the third fret here, and then you're going to get your either ring finger or pinky on the next string 2 frets above. So if your pointer finger is at the third fret, your ring finger or pinky is going to be on 3 plus 2, makes it the 5th fret. Notice that I'm only strumming the 2 thick strings. I'm not doing this. It's not going to work. You see, kind of my finger here is arched, and actually, I do want to block the thin strings. I want to mute them, hitting only the thick strings. The cool thing about this is it's a very movable shape. You can play it here. All the way up. And just knowing where to fit it, where to place your pointer finger, or where to place the power chord gives you whatever chord you need. If we're working off the sixth string, when my pointer finger is here at the first fret, it's an F. Third fret, G. 5th fret, A. 7th fret, B. 8th fret, C. And last 10th fret is D. So now if I'm playing the chorus for the song we just worked on, it's actually one measure of D, one measure of B. I'm going to be playing 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm going from the 10th fret, 7th fret, 10th, 7th. And I can get anywhere I want. So that's the main part of the verse. It starts just the D and B, one measure each. As I said, one of the cool things about the power chord is you can move it around to different places. And one of the places you can move it to is actually across the 5th string. So I'm doing the same shape. My pointer finger is holding one string, my ring finger or pinky is holding the next thickest string, 2 frets higher, but I'm going to work off same thing but the next set of strings. So my pointer finger is here on the 5th string, and my pinky or ring, whichever one is comfortable for you, is on the 4th string, 2 frets above. And I can move the notes around across here as well. Same way. Only thing is now the notes and the letters are in different places. If I'm here at the 2nd fret, that's a B. 3rd fret, C. 5th fret, D. 7th fret, E. 8th fret, F. 10th fret, G. So now when I'm playing the verse, I can use these chords instead. D at the 5th fret to a B. I can also mix and match. I can go from this D on the 5th fret to the B on the 6th string. You can pick and choose whichever one you want. You may have noticed that in the demo that I just played, I was switching between all of them depending on what I felt like and what I was reaching for. I wasn't really trying to follow any specific pattern. I was mixing it up and jumbling it up as much as I wanted. So now the verse, like I said, is D to a B. The next section of the chorus goes to G to an E. G is right here, and E is right here. So I got G on the 6th string, 3rd fret, E on the 5th string, 7th fret. I can also go from a G here on the 5th string, 10th fret. So now my whole song, D, B, D, B, you can D, B, and again you see I'm mixing and matching D and B to a G, E, G, E, and that's the next section. The punchline here of the verse, the hook line, if you want to call it that, goes from a D to an A and back to D. Now I can go D to an A, or this is a perfect example where knowing where your chords are on both strings really help, because I can play the D here on the 5th string, 5th fret, and then just climb up 1 strings to hit the A. D, 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 A. And there you have, again, knowing where all the chords are does really help finding your way around here. And you can come up with a lot of different combinations, whichever one works for you. Next section, which is the bridge, goes G, D, G, A. So I can do it in a lot of different ways. I can go G, D, G, D, and then A. The advantage of playing the chords up here is that the frets are closer together. You don't have to spread your fingers as much to reach them. The advantage of them here, it's not as crowded. It's easier to find sometimes. Again, all the options are open. Pick the one you like best. So again, our bridge, G, D, A, and that's your section. If you look at the guitar solo section, it's really a variation on this theme. Only we're going to do the G, D 3 times before we go to the A. So it's G, D, the guitar solo. Guitar solo is D, G, D, G, D, G, A. So we got D. I'm opting to use the D here. G, D, G, D, G, D, and now we're going to go to A. And those are all the sections in the song. You may have noticed I'm doing little connecting patterns here. See how I'm setting myself up to make the switch by doing changing a finger halfway through the switch. I'm moving my finger up, and it sets me up to just slide 2 frets, and then I only have to move one less step to do. This is another thing that's worth kind of messing around with. See, I'm kind of getting... I'm setting myself up by taking it one step at a time. The key is to land on your target chord at the right time. There's a few power chords that you can do using the open strings, and they'll work in this song if you want to get a little. If these chords start to hurt your hand a little bit, and you're trying to give yourself a little break, you can do the D here. What I'm doing is basically a D chord, but I'm leaving the middle finger out, and I'm only playing strings 4, 3, and 2. I'm going to the G. I just have my middle finger up on the 6th string, 3rd fret. I'm muting the 5th string. And then I'm getting a little bit of 4th string, maybe even a little 3rd, but that's about it. See, I'm really focused on strumming just the thick string. And I can have my 2 fingers here ready for a D chord. And ready with the middle finger. D again. And there's my A power chord. I got my pointer finger flying flat on 3 strings. I'm only playing strings 5, 4, and 3 to get that power punch to it. But as you can see, doing it over here becomes a little easier, especially for the guitar solo, since everything's using those open strings. Notice how I keep my fingers close to the fretboard. They're not pressing the strings all the way down. They're just ready to land on the chords I need them to. And there you have it. Those power chords using the open strings can be useful for some moments in the verses if you have a little, again, if you need a break, if your guitar is not set up comfortable or whatever the situation is. Instead of going from this D to B, I'm going from this. That's one option. The other is going from this G to an E. I got my pointer finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, and I'm playing the 6th string open and the 5th string. I'm muting everything else. And again, that becomes a little easier when you have to switch from G to E. And you can use that in the song as well if you want to give your hands a little bit of a break. So let me run through a verse, a bridge, and the guitar solo using the open strings. So you get to see how open string power chords. So you get to see how those work in context of the song. Here's the bridge. G, back to D, A, guitar solo,